Preparing a landscape plan. Talks of water shortages have plagued the news for some time now. The effects of the current drought are especially eminent on the West Coast, and when looking at each state individually, no one has been hit harder by the lack of fresh water than the California residents. The first step in preparing your landscape plan is deciding how you want your yard to look and which plants you want to use. One of the most water-consuming items on the list is grass. New laws have recently been put into place to limit the amount of grass that can be planted relative to the size of your lot. Water regulations have also been adjusted to limit the watering days and the times that watering is acceptable on those days. Here are some different grass types that require a low to moderate amount of water. Research should be done before choosing the type of grass because each part of the state has grasses that are better suited for that climate. Here are a few popular plant types that do not require a large amount of water. Selecting the right plants to accent your yard is another important part of building a landscape plan. After choosing your vegetation, the next step is deciding where to plant what. Placing plants that require the same amount of water near each other is another important tip that can help prevent over and underwatering. Irrigating your yard is the single most important part of your landscape plan. When considering how to get water to your plants, there are a number of options available that keep water conservation in mind. If sprinklers are already installed on the lot, then the first step is redirecting them so that they are only watering the grass instead of wasting water on concrete, like is shown here. Sprinklers create a mist effect that allows water to evaporate into the atmosphere, which means less water for your grass and plants. Drip systems are a more environmentally friendly alternative to sprinklers because they move water straight into the soil and significantly less is lost to evaporation. Additionally, you can target specific areas so you are only putting water where it is needed. Whether you choose drip irrigation, sprinkler irrigation, or a combination of both, the ideal watering times are in the mornings and evenings, and watering less but more often is also recommended so that the soil absorbs as much water as possible and runoff water is minimized. Here is an example of an irrigation system that utilizes 6 different valves to control water flow to different areas on the lot. A system like this is recommended because each individual station has its own run time. The system also allows for 4 different start times. The control panel lets you customize these settings so water usage can be adjusted to fit your specific yard and can be changed according to seasons. Once vegetation and irrigation are installed, some additional tips include covering any other areas of the yard with mulch to keep water from evaporating out of the soil, limiting the amount of times you fertilize your lawn. Once fertilized, the lawn requires more water to make use of the nutrients in the fertilizer. Using your own yard waste is a great natural substitute for store-bought fertilizers. The dead compost contains much of the nutrients the living plants use to thrive.